What's up, everybody? Adam O'Leary, Sophie Mann, Encite, branding, marketing, creative, coming to you live from Rhino for another episode of Encite Live, where we talk everything branding, marketing, creative.
All there is to know, really.
Yeah, how's things going?
Good. International Women's Month is this month. So what I found applies to that a little bit.
Cool. So did I. I found something that applies to that as well. So let's
go women, you know?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So mine is from Nike. They recently released a spot. They have a new line of maternity workout wear, basically. And in the spot, it's like Serena Williams is in it. I think Alex Morgan's in it. I mean, like really prolific female athletes that also happen to be moms.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, I have a soft spot for a lot of Nike commercials. I think they do a really good job of storytelling and like bringing you into this moment and having it not feel forced. It's like a kind of inspiration that I think really works. And I loved this. I found it very empowering because you never see pregnant women really doing anything, you know? I mean, I think we're like making a lot of strides in terms of like how we portray women and minorities in the media, but like still, you know, if I'm watching like a TV show and like there's a pregnant female character in an office scenario, I'm surprised to see that, you know? Like I feel like we don't even really talk about pregnant women working a ton. And so to talk about pregnant women being active and being strong and working out and like maintaining their own lifestyle while still being a mom, I think that that's like really great and something that we should do more of, because that's not, you know, all that's going on in a woman's life. It's, you know, I think Nike with this is offering women and the ability to be a mother and also be the same person that they've always been. Yeah. You know?
Right. I mean, it's part of the lifestyle. So like fitness and working out are big parts of people's lifestyles now, right? And so when women have to stop doing that or supposedly stop doing that when they become pregnant.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of part of their identity at times,
for sure.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, exercise and physical activity is good for the mind, good for the body, good for that. So, but I know when we were pregnant, my partner and I, you know, some of the doctors encouraged some of that, you know, to
encourage exercise,
activity. I mean, obviously, at some point when you get to the third trimester and you're far along, it's hard, right? Because they're carrying around a baby, right? But at the same time, it was definitely encouraged. So I'm glad to see them kind of addressing some. I mean, I personally don't think it's stigmatized, but I guess that some people may see that.
I think it's just, I don't know if I would say that I find it so much stigmatized. It's just like not talked about. You know what I mean? I feel like you just like, it's sort of like what I was saying about like in media, you know, like there's rarely, I feel like if you're watching a movie or a TV show or whatever, I feel like rarely is a character just pregnant and that's not a part of the storyline, if that makes sense. Like I feel like we're sort of moving away from that in terms of like sexual orientation and identity. Like I watch 1,000 TV shows where there's a gay character and that has nothing to do with the larger story. That's just like the character just happens to be gay.
Just part of the character, yeah.
And I feel like we could definitely do that more with women and pregnant women, you know? It's like, I feel like that's just a part of life and, you know, it encapsulates everything else in your life too, you know? It's the same as any other thing. So I think just sort of like having more of an honest dialogue about like, you know.
Yeah, I applaud Nike for, you know, putting together, you know, campaigns that, you know, are starting to appeal to, you know,
all people at all stages of their life.
Yeah, it's not necessarily race or age or gender, but now it's a huge part of your life, a big life event, and still trying to, you know, showcase, you know, our strong women out there that you know, still like to exercise and still see fitness as part of their lifestyle.
And like, you know, the fact that like this is one of the stills from the ad, I think is really important because it's like, you know, she's in this moment, like really trying to like catch her breath and like, you can sort of tell that like she's struggling and, you know, it's just like, I feel like you're not really hiding anything anymore, you know? And like the fact that she is in like a sports bra and you're not covering it. You're just like, this is who I am. This is where I'm at. And I'm still doing what I want to do, you know?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Big
it.
fan.
Yeah, me too.
So what about you? What was your Women's Day?
Well, I found something that was quite controversial for Women's Day. So a tweet came out from Burger King.
Yes, okay, I saw
this. It said this, women belong in the kitchen.
Right.
So they took a huge beating on social media for this tweet, and I believe the tweet was taken down rather
I think
quickly.
They fired the intern.
Did they? Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
But if you look more deeply into what the tweet said, you almost see that their hearts were in the right place. But the execution wasn't the best.
Right. I understand the thought process. And I think it's a cool idea to say, let's say this really controversial thing that's going to grab someone's attention and then sort of come at them with the real message. But it was a definite risk. Yeah.
So if you go to the next slide, but it said in here, it's like, women belong in the kitchen. Fine dining kitchens, food truck kitchens, award-winning kitchens. It's talking about how that there's only 24% of the chef population are women, and only 7% are fewer than like head chefs. So they're talking about they want more women in leadership positions in the culinary industry, right? So that's kind of where they're going with this. However, they can't lead with women belong in the kitchen without singing some sort of on that day, which is very insulting, right? Yeah. It's insulting to a lot of people because a lot of people aren't going to go back through what they're really trying to say, right? So maybe the execution was a little poor.
Yeah, but it is like it sucks to see something like this happen because, like you said, it's like I do understand the thought process, and if it could have been vetted a little bit more or just like done in a slightly different way, I think it could have been so impactful and in a good way, because obviously it was. I saw it all over social media in the past couple of weeks, but like, is there such a thing as bad publicity? And I think the answer is yes in this case. So
absolutely.
I think, and it's also like, are we living in a day and age where someone's going to read the fine copy on an ad like this? I don't know,
especially from a social media standpoint. I mean, we know some of that statistics that people don't. And, you're trying to cut through the clutter. You're trying to be unique. You're trying to be memorable, which you are. But that's a poor memorable piece here. So that bad publicity is huge.
And it's also like, I think it's especially bad to have bad publicity on a day that is inherently publicized. Everyone comes out with an ad on this day, or any holiday, or memorialization. You know what I mean? Like there's
or that's inherently supposed to be positive, right? Like an uplifting and inclusive and all these kinds of things. You kind of, I find it hard to believe that as big of a corporation as Burger King is, that they didn't vet this prior, that they didn't use some sort of, at least some small focus group that they do this. I find that hard to believe.
You see stuff like this happen all the time. I mean, like the IHOP burger thing, a
couple of years ago, right?
There's a lot of like huge corporations doing these things that just flop. And it's like you see that stuff happen and you're like, well, should there be more cooks in the kitchen? Maybe that's a bad metaphor to use when talking about this ad, but like, it seems like maybe more people need to be consulted, because you imagine that one person that pitched this is like, in the moment, it probably felt like a great idea, and now it's like, how could I have thought of that?
Well, there's a certain thing about like, hey, let's bring all ideas to the table. We bring ideas and we vet those ideas, and we, take away the ones that we think maybe show our clients in a bad light or could be construed in a different way. And so we're a little bit more conservative, right? But I think that we still want to push the envelope on messaging, because it is hard to be memorable, be unique, be remembered.
It almost feels like the more money that you have at your disposal, the more well-known you are, the more risky you're willing to be,
You've got more brand equity. You've got more brand awareness there, right?
Like I don't think people are going to stop eating at Burger King.
Right. Maybe who knows? But I don't think long term it's going to kill the company.
No, neither do I. But I think it is a really good lesson in reading the room and like taking a temperature of like where people are socially and like mentally before releasing something like this. So learning lesson.
Yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Burger King took a, one on the chin, right? But I'm sure they'll bounce back.
For sure. And I think that, as we were talking about this, I was remembering like, we talk a lot about a lot of really positive advertising that Burger King does as well, that is pushing the envelope, like that moldy Whopper thing. I think that's great. And I think that this was probably trying to be in the vein of that. And it's like, they'll hit their stride again, I guess is what I'm saying,
They'll bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I think that's all we've got for today. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. And we'll talk to you guys 2 weeks from now with, I'm sure, some other exciting new news that's happened. So we'll check back in with you then, but thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys next time.
See you guys.
Bye.